Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about pivoting. And whenever I hear that word pivot, I grew up watching Friends, so it reminds me of the Friends episode where they're trying to literally get the couch up the stairs and they're trying to pivot and they are struggling so much to get the couch up the stairs. And that's what I feel like I've been going through the past couple of weeks. So I want to talk to you about pivoting by sharing a personal experience that I've been going through. And it stemmed from, if you remember, we had started a challenge, and I started a 45-day challenge where everyone in the challenge group could pick the tasks that they wanted to challenge themselves with. There wasn't a certain number that anyone had to have. There wasn't a certain rule of you have to pick something in this area of life. It was completely up to you. And the reason I decided to set that challenge was because there were so many challenges in the past that were like set in stone that for me, I knew if I did those challenges, they would actually end up causing me more stress and pressure. So I thought, this is a great opportunity for me to build some new habits and to create a challenge of my own and invite other people in so that they can create a challenge that's going to be meaningful for them. And here's what happened. We have 2 weeks left, and the first couple of weeks were going really well. In the first week, I recall a conversation that I had with my brother. One of my tasks was that I was going to read 10 pages of the Bible every single day. And a few days into the challenge, he had said to me, Jackie, I just feel compelled to share this with you. I want you to know, it's important to be flexible in your life. Sometimes opportunities are going to come around and you want to be flexible and take those opportunities. And I heard him, and I didn't completely let it sink all the way in. When I had initially told him 10 pages, he's like, whoa, that's a lot. And I'm like, this was my answer. Well, I already told my group I'm going to do it, and the challenge has already started, so I'm going to stick to my word, okay? Fast forward now, we are well over halfway done. And in the past couple of weeks, that specific task of reading 10 pages in the Bible a day, in addition to my other tasks, that one specific task had been taking me an hour and a half, and it started making me feel some additional stress. It started making me feel overwhelmed. How am I going to fit this in? Am I even comprehending what I'm reading? To make myself to the point where I'm second guessing myself and reading and rereading and rereading and getting frustrated. And then it coming into, I have to read my 10 pages, not I get to read my 10 pages. And it really started to stress me out, and I kept quiet about it. I didn't say anything. I was connected and committed to this challenge, so I was going to finish it no matter what, right? And as we got into last weekend, I really started to feel this more. My husband even had a conversation with me about it, hey, to the effect of really getting me to think, part of what I want to do is be able to let go of some of my routine and discipline and structure and be able to be more adventurous and spontaneous. And what this had started causing for me was this undue pressure. And from everything that I have been reading in the Bible and learning is that is not a feeling that God wants us to have. He doesn't want us to feel guilt. There shouldn't be a pressure. There's not a certain number of pages a day that is going to strengthen my relationship with Him. It's what time I'm willing to give, and whatever that looks like for me, whatever that looks like for you, it's okay, because no deeds or tasks are going to impress Him. So as I'm reading this and as I'm having these tough conversations, consciously, I know this. I'm consciously, I get it. And I'm yes, what you're saying is right. Even had a conversation with my pastor. She's like, Jackie, do I need to give you grace? Do I need to give you permission? And to her, I initially even said, I just, if I was doing this by myself, I probably would stop. But because I'm doing it with a group and I told them, I just don't want to let them down. I just don't want to go back on my word. And we live in this society of finish what you started. Don't quit. Do it for the others, right? You said you were going to do it, so now you have to do it, and you have to do it in the same way that you said you were going to do it. And all of these things were like circling in my brain. And I finally, after that conversation with my pastor, so 3 people later, really let that sink in. And I went back to something I did at the beginning of the challenge. I had set intentions at the beginning of my challenge. These are the things that I want to get out of the challenge. And I'm going to read you my one that connects to this right now. So before the challenge even started, my first intention: strengthen my relationship with God by being in His Word to better distinguish His messages from mine. The task that I thought was going to get me there was to read 10 pages of the Bible a day. What I realized over the last couple weeks was that wasn't the right task. My intention is to build a stronger relationship. The task was causing literally stress, anxiety, like some things going on with mental health from perfectionistic tendencies in my past. And I finally surrendered and humbled myself to what my peers were telling me, my pastor, my husband, my brother. And I had to admit, like, gosh, it's a little embarrassing that I picked my own tasks and I couldn't live up to them. And I had to reframe that and go back to, as a coach, if one of my clients came to me and they said, Jackie, that the stuff we talked about last week, it's like the action, like I'm struggling with it. It's causing me stress. I'm really concerned. I have anxiety over it. Like, as a coach, I would never tell one of my clients to push through. I would say, let's talk about it. Let's dig deeper. Where is it coming from? And what do we need to change to help you move forward towards your goal or towards your intention? And it was in that moment, through some conversations with my pastor as well, that she said, well, Jackie, like, it's okay to humble yourself in front of your group and just tell them, like, hey, like, as the leader of this challenge, like, I made a mistake. Like, I did. I didn't understand what I committed to when I wrote that about reading those 10 pages. And what I need to do now is admit that and give myself grace and pivot it to go back to align with my intention. So I did. And this past Monday I started, and I had pivoted to just kind of going back to some of the things I read and had underlined, and I'm journaling about it, and I'm using my app, and I'm not setting a timer, I'm not setting a number of pages. I'm literally just in the Word, doing my thing with God, and I have experienced immense relief and release of pressure and anxiety and stress and worry. And on Sunday, I had texted our group and I had shared a lot of the things I'm sharing with you right now. And they were all like, why would I think otherwise, right? Every single person, so supportive and so understanding and encouraging, right? And I share this with you guys because I choose to believe and I hope that even just like one person hearing this can hear that it's okay to pivot. Heck, it's okay to even quit, but I don't like that word. It's okay to even take away something that you thought was going to work that's not working or in alignment. And I have a couple of actionable items for you that really helped me get to this point. And one was setting my intentions before the challenge even started. So before you go into something, before you go into a challenge, before you go into setting a new goal in any area of your life, before you go into a meeting, before you go into a tough conversation, heck, before you just start your day, write down your intentions. And in being able to go back to that intention, it was like this moment of like, oh gosh, well shoot, like this action, this task isn't even matching what I wanted my intention to do, so let's pivot. That was one thing that made it easier. The other thing that made it easier was reaching out to other people and admitting that I needed help. Admitting that I had been masking these things and kind of just like making excuses, even though consciously I knew like that that's exactly what they were. And having those conversations with my brother, with my husband, with my pastor, like, who are your people? And then my challenge group, like being able to have a group of additional supporters and encouragers. Who are you surrounding yourself with that are going to uplift and encourage you and support you? So setting your intentions, reaching out, asking for help, asking for advice on, hey, like, this is what I'm feeling, like, do you have any ideas on how I can pivot or help me work through this, or, should I remove it, should I change it, and have that supportive group, that tribe of people around you, that whatever decision that you choose to make that's important for your mental health, that you have that group that's going to support you and cheer you on no matter what. So, to take away anything from today, take away giving yourself grace. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to change something if what you're currently doing is causing you undue stress, anxiety, or anything that's causing mental health issues. If you have any questions, if you need that person to talk something out with, I'm here. Because let me tell you, in having that, my whole week has started off differently in such a better way. Have an amazing day.